Oh, that is good chicken. What's going on, guys? James from Scheels here with another episode of What's Cooking. Today we have a super simple recipe for you to take that chicken to the next level. We're going to be doing some rotisserie chicken on the JoeTisserie on a Kamado Joe. We're going to be using Cosmo's The Best Beer Can Chicken Rub. Cosmo's came out with a new line of the best rubs. You should totally check them out. They're great. We're going to be using this one here on the chicken today, and we're going to be adding a little bit of flavor underneath the skin as well. So let's get started.
All right, so we're getting ready for our butter mixture. We're gonna take 2 cloves of garlic, and we're gonna get those smashed and diced. Dice it up nice and fine. That way it mixes into the butter really well. Next, we're gonna take a sprig of rosemary, a sprig of parsley. Start at the top, pinch your way down, pull the leaves off, we're gonna dice those up. We're gonna be using a 1/4 stick of warm room temperature butter. You want to make sure it's at least room temperature. That way, when you're mixing it in with the garlic, the rosemary, and the parsley, it spreads easy and it mixes in easily. So here we're going to separate the skin from the breast. You can do this very easily. It's a gentle process, but don't be afraid to force it a little bit. Just start along the neckline and push your finger in underneath the skin along the breast, and you just work your way all the way back. This will allow you to get that butter mixture in there. Now that we've worked it open, we're going to take that butter mixture and we're going to start working it in. You can see it getting pushed in all the way to the back there. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but make sure you get a good amount in on both sides. This way, when it starts cooking, that butter will melt. Keeps the meat nice and juicy, but it also puts a lot of flavor down inside the cavity. Next, we're going to add olive oil. This just helps make it so the skin fries a little bit, gives you really nice color, and helps it crisp up. Going to be using Cosmo's The Best Beer Can Chicken Rub. It pairs really well with that butter mixture. They're both very herbal flavors. It's a great combination. So next, we're going to truss the bird. To truss your bird, you're going to have a piece of butcher's twine laid flat on your board, and you're going to lay your chicken on top of that. You're going to take that string, bring it up over the wings, cross at the neck. You're going to bring it down across the front of the bird, and you're going to cross them at the breastbone. You're going to bring it underneath the breastbone, you're going to cross, and then you're going to bring them up underneath the legs, and you're actually going to bring them around those legs to come back and pull those legs tight and away from the chicken itself. After that, you're going to flip the chicken over, and you're going to tie the string behind the chicken. Trussing your bird allows you to get a nice, even cook across all the major pieces of meat, and it also keeps you from drying out any of them as well. Now we're going to get that trussed bird put on the spit. You want to make sure it's relatively centered, and you want to make sure it's evenly placed on those spikes. That way, when the bird is turning, it's not bouncing. If you need to, add a little seasoning, because moving it around and handling it will take some of that seasoning off. Now we're going to open up all the vents on our Kamado Joe and get it ready to fire up. Take out our JoeTisserie. We're going to take out our heat deflectors. And we're going to add some of my favorite Jealous Devil charcoal. After we get that charcoal in there, we're going to throw in some Kamado Joe starter cubes, and we're going to get those lit. We're going to close the grill, give it a few minutes to get prepared, close our vents up, and get them set to where we want them for cooking. We're aiming for that 350 to 375 degree mark. Get our heat deflectors put back in there, get our JoeTisserie set. Now we can bring out the chicken. Get that chicken placed in on the JoeTisserie. We're going to turn it on and watch that chicken spin. Now it's been about 90 minutes. We're going to double check here with our MK4, but that chicken looks done and it looks good. You can really tell that the trussing did a good job That chicken leg was pulled back really nicely and cooked very evenly. We're sitting at 160, so by the time we bring it in and rest, we'll be good. It's a cold day outside, about 15 below, but it is never too cold to be cooking some good food. Now we got that meat inside. We're gonna let it rest for about 10-15 minutes. You wanna let it rest so as you're cutting into it, you're not burning your hands, but it also allows that meat to sit, the muscles release a little bit, and as you cut into it, the juices don't just run right out of the meat. Now we're gonna work on separating the pieces. You just cut underneath and over the top of that wing, open the bone, and it's gonna come right out. Same with the legs. You start at the top, you work in away the skin, and you'll see pretty easily where you need to cut. Then you're gonna pull back on the bone a little bit. You're gonna open that joint and you just cut right through it. That way you have your thigh and leg. It's a good looking piece. To separate those breasts, we're just gonna cut in along the top, right up against that breastbone. Make a couple incisions so you can get in a little deeper. You're just gonna work your fingers in against that breastbone. And as you get them in there a little deeper, you're gonna feel that meat start to pull away, and you're just gonna pull the breast right out. Now we're gonna do something not a lot of people do. There's actually a lot of meat left on the main piece of that chicken. And we're just gonna pull that off just to show you guys how much is left on there. And while we're doing it, we're probably gonna do a little sampling. We're gonna slice up those chicken breasts. You can see that the skin is sticking really nicely. Even though we pulled it away from the skin at the beginning, having cooked, it's gonna sit there nice and it will still come back to stick.
All right, guys. This looks good. It definitely smells good. The skin is nice and crispy. It didn't pull back off the meat. The JoeTisserie out there made for a nice, really even cook. The smells from the seasoning as well as the herbs we packed underneath the skin just combined perfectly. I'm excited to take a bite. Oh, that is good chicken. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, stop in store. We'll see you next time.